In a quiet corner of Chicago's Lincoln Park, where tree canopies form shady avenues and small shops exude a cozy, neighborly atmosphere, lives 28-year-old Emma. From the outside, her life might seem like a dream come true: a loving husband, a comfortable apartment, and a stable job at a bookstore. However, behind this facade of well-being lies a deep dissatisfaction. Every morning, Emma wakes with a heavy heart. A year ago, she made a rash decision, marrying 32-year-old Leo. He is a man of rare kindness, unfailingly friendly and caring. But alas, there is no room in Emma's heart for love for him. Her marriage was dictated not by the call of her heart, but by desperation and a desire to numb her emotional pain. Trying to forget a painful breakup with her ex-boyfriend Alex, she hastily accepted Leo's proposal. She thought marriage would be a lifeline, helping her start a new chapter in life. She naively believed that love would come with time, but it never did. Now, she found herself trapped by her own illusions. Leo tirelessly strives to shower Emma with care and attention. Every Friday, he brings her a bouquet of fresh flowers, cooks dinner after her tiring workday, leaves sweet notes in her lunch bag, affectionately calls her "my sunshine," and gently kisses her forehead. Many women would consider themselves the happiest to have such a husband, but Emma is consumed by guilt, for she cannot reciprocate his feelings. One evening, sitting on the balcony under the twinkling stars, Leo confessed, "Emma, I understand you don't love me yet, but I believe it's possible. I'm willing to wait as long as it takes. My love is enough for both of us." These words brought tears to Emma's eyes. He was full of hope, but her heart remained unresponsive. She felt like a liar, forced to wear a mask every day. She smiled when she wanted to cry, said thank you without gratitude, living a life that wasn't truly hers. Emma's mother once told her, "Love is a feeling that can grow gradually. Marriage isn't always a storm of passion. It's first and foremost kindness, respect, and patience." Emma tried to follow this advice, tried to be patient, but with each passing day, she felt more acutely like a stranger in her own life. One Friday evening, Leo prepared a special dinner for Emma. Her favorite chicken pasta with garlic bread adorned the table, candles flickered, soft music played, and even Leo's shirt was her favorite shade of blue. "All this is for you, Emma. You are my world," he said. Emma offered a weak smile in return, but a gaping void yawned inside her. She couldn't enjoy the food or the music. She felt as though she was playing a role in a play, not living a real life. After dinner, Leo suggested a walk. They headed to a small park nearby, the very spot where Leo had proposed a year ago. "Remember this place? I promise to love you forever," he said with a smile. Emma looked at the old oak tree where it had happened, then at Leo. She desperately wanted to scream, "I don't love you, Leo!" But she remained silent, unwilling to hurt him. He looked so happy, so full of love, and she felt like a betrayer. That night, Emma didn't sleep a wink. She lay for hours staring at the ceiling, reflecting on her life, her decisions, and her heart. She wondered, will I ever be happy again? The next morning, her best friend Nina called. "Emma, your voice sounds tired. Are you okay?" she asked. Emma wanted to say yes, but couldn't lie. "I don't love Leo," she quietly confessed. "I married him to forget someone else, and now I feel trapped. I'm miserable every day." After a brief pause, Nina suggested, "Maybe you two need some time apart. Maybe it will help you sort out your feelings." Emma shook her head. "It's not about time, Nina. My heart just doesn't respond to him." Later that same day, Emma tried to talk to Leo. "I need to tell you something," she began, but he interrupted her. "I know what you want to say. Please don't give up, Emma. I still believe we can make this work." Hope lit up his eyes again, making it even harder for Emma. She didn't want to shatter his illusions, but she knew she couldn't give him what he needed. She felt exhausted, as if carrying an unbearable burden every day. One Sunday, Leo shocked her with a question. "Emma, do you want a child?" I think it would bring us closer." Emma froze. She didn't know what to say. The thought of a child with someone she didn't love horrified her. She lowered her eyes and quietly said, "I'm not ready, Leo." He slowly nodded, trying to hide his disappointment, and Emma felt even worse. He was always so sensitive, so kind, and she was so silent, so distant. That night, she made an entry in her diary. "I feel like I'm drowning in this marriage. Leo is a wonderful person, but I can't be the wife he deserves." She also wrote, "Sometimes I want to give up everything, but fear torments me. What will people say? Will they call me selfish? Will they blame me for not trying hard enough? Had I not tried hard enough?" This question echoed in her mind. One evening, Emma, having packed a small overnight bag, decided to leave her familiar world. She gazed for a long time at the sleeping Leo, his face expressing serenity and happiness. Standing in the doorway with her bag in hand, she felt an invisible barrier, preventing her from taking the decisive step. Placing the bag on the floor, she burst into silent sobs, trying not to disturb her sleeping husband. The next morning began with a cup of aromatic coffee prepared by Leo, a gentle kiss on her cheek, and the words, "Good morning, my love. I believe in our future," once again stirred her wounded heart. She wanted to scream, "Stop hoping!" but the words caught in her throat. Walking to the window, she looked out at the bustling street. A dog running, children laughing. The bright sun, the world outside was alive and moving. While inside her, complete stagnation reigned. She felt trapped, not knowing how to change her life or break free from this vicious cycle. The only thing she was sure of was that she couldn't continue this existence indefinitely. Days dragged by agonizingly slowly. Every morning began with the usual ritual, waking up, making breakfast, working at the bookstore, returning home, and offering a strained smile to Leo. But inside her, a weariness from constant pretense grew. She was exhausted by the need to wear the mask of a happy wife. One Saturday, Leo unexpectedly came home early, holding 2 movie tickets. "Emma, we're going to the movies tonight, just you and me. I want to see your genuine smile again," he said, with hope in his voice. Emma merely nodded in agreement, unable to find the strength to refuse his offer. That evening, she put on her favorite dress and accentuated her lips with bright lipstick. Outwardly, she looked happy, but inside, an emptiness prevailed. At the movie theater, Leo gently held her hand, laughing infectiously at the film's comedic moments. He kept glancing at her, hoping to see a spark of joy on her face. Emma tried her best to smile, but her smile felt fake and strained. After the screening, Leo enthusiastically asked, "Did you like it? It was fun, wasn't it?" "Yes, it was very nice," she replied, but deep down, she felt only an icy cold. Back home, Leo made tea for both of them. They settled on the sofa and he gently hugged her, whispering, "I missed you so much, Emma." Emma turned away, unable to respond to his confession. It was unbearable to realize that every day she caused him pain with her silence and detachment. The next morning, Emma went to see her close friend Nina. They met at a cozy cafe by the lake. The sky was overcast with gray clouds and a biting wind cut through them. Nina looked at her with concern and said, "Emma, you look terrible. You're exhausted." Emma, taking a deep breath, recounted her story again. "Nina, I feel trapped in a box with no way out. I desperately want to leave, but fear paralyzes me. Leo is a wonderful person. Everyone will judge me if I hurt him." Nina took her hand and said, "No one has the right to live your life for you. If you're unhappy, you must be honest with yourself and with Leo. He deserves the truth, and so do you." Her friend's words touched her deeply, but they couldn't dispel her fears. What if she inflicted irreparable harm on Leo? What if she later regretted her decision? That night, Emma sat by the window, lost in thought. The street was quiet and deserted. Lights flickered in the windows of houses, and she wondered if the people living in them were happy. Were they pretending, like her, hiding their true feelings? Leo approached and sat beside her. He looked at her tenderly and said, "Emma, you've been so quiet lately. I feel like I'm losing you." She wanted to tell him the truth, but couldn't find the strength. Instead, she said, "I'm just tired. Work was busy." Leo didn't reply, just quietly nodded. Emma noticed the sadness reflected in his eyes. The following week, Leo suggested a short trip. "Let's go to Lake Geneva for the weekend, just you and me. Maybe the fresh air will clear your head," he said hopefully. Emma didn't want to go, but again, couldn't refuse him. She was afraid of hurting him. They spent about 2 hours on the road. The lake was stunning in its beauty, calm water, emerald green trees, and an azure sky. But inside, Emma felt nothing. Leo had booked a small hotel on the lake shore. In the evening, they took a walk along the bank. Leo enthusiastically photographed the surrounding landscapes and laughed infectiously. He gently held her hand and said, "It's so nice here, isn't it?" Emma didn't know what to say. Her heart was silent. She felt as though she was in a dream that wasn't hers. That night at the hotel, Leo handed her a small box. Opening it, Emma saw a delicate necklace with a tiny heart. "This is for you. My heart belongs to you," he said, with love in his voice. Emma looked at the necklace, and her eyes filled with tears. But these were not tears of joy, but tears of the realization that she didn't deserve his love. "Thank you," she whispered, barely audible. Later, when Leo fell asleep, Emma sat on the floor by the bed, lost in her thoughts. She didn't want to cry aloud, so as not to disturb his sleep. She thought about the day they met, about how Leo had supported her after Alex left. He was there, helping her, listening to her, and bringing back her smile, but she had never felt true love for him. She had married Leo while in a state of emotional trauma and not making rational decisions. It seemed to her that being with a good person was better than being alone, but now she understood that a life without love was even worse. Upon returning to Chicago, Emma began writing letters to herself. She didn't show them to anyone, simply pouring out her feelings and experiences onto paper. In one letter, she wrote, "Emma, you are not a bad person. You made a mistake, but not out of malice. You just wanted to feel better. Now you must gather your courage and find your truth." Another letter said, "Leo is not your enemy. He is a good man, but he is not your home. You cannot give him what he needs." These letters helped Emma to better understand herself and acknowledge her pain. Tormented by her conscience, Emma delved into a whirlpool of self-reflection, trying to comprehend her actions and heal her emotional wounds. A few days later, Nina called, her sensitive voice noting a change in her friend's tone. "Emma, there's strength in your voice." In response, Emma shared her growing decision. "I think I need to tell Leo the whole truth. He deserves to know." Her friend supported her, expressing pride in this difficult step. That same evening, after making aromatic tea, Emma invited Leo for an honest conversation. Her heart pounded, her hands trembled, but she gathered her courage and said, "Leo, I need to tell you something." He looked at her intently, ready to listen. Taking a deep breath, Emma began, "Leo, I value you deeply. You are a wonderful person, but I don't love you, and I never have. I married you because I was in pain, hoping love would come with time, but it didn't." Leo remained silent, as if turned to stone. His face was impassive, but tears welled in his eyes. In a quiet voice, he said, "I knew it, Emma. I saw it in your eyes. I just didn't want to believe it." Tears streamed down Emma's cheeks. "I'm so sorry," she whispered. "I never meant to hurt you." Leo just nodded silently. "I love you, Emma. I love you very much. But I cannot be the only one trying to save our union. If your heart isn't here, I cannot hold you." His words, full of wisdom and compassion, utterly broke Emma. Even in the face of her confession, which caused him unbearable pain, he remained kind and understanding. A long silence hung between them, unbroken by shouts or accusations, only an all-consuming sadness, a true, quiet sadness, marking the end of their shared path. That night, Emma found refuge on the couch. Staring at the wall, she whispered, "I told the truth. Finally, I told the truth." Not knowing what lay ahead, and with no idea how her future interactions with Leo would unfold, she felt an unprecedented relief. For the first time in a long time, she could breathe freely. The following days passed in a heavy silence. Emma and Leo continued to live in the same apartment, but tried to avoid each other, needing personal space to process what had happened. Emma moved into the small guest room, while Leo remained in their shared bedroom. In the mornings, Leo still made coffee and left a cup on the kitchen table for Emma, but now it happened without notes, without smiles, in an oppressive quiet. Emma immersed herself in work, trying to distract herself from her heavy thoughts. She helped customers at the bookstore, arranged books, dusted shelves, and answered questions. But her heart wasn't in her work. Her thoughts constantly returned to what awaited her in the future. One day, Nina visited Emma at the store. Hugging her friend, she asked, "How are you?" "I'm okay," Emma replied. "It's hard, but I feel more honest." Nina smiled encouragingly. "That's a good start. What are you planning to do next?" "I think I need to leave," Emma said quietly. "It's time." That same evening, Emma informed Leo of her decision to move out. He showed no surprise and merely asked, "Do you have somewhere to go?" "Yes," Emma replied. "Nina offered me her guest room." Leo nodded and, after a pause, said, "Emma, I'm not angry, I'm just sad, but maybe this is for the best." Tears welled in Emma's eyes. "I never wanted to hurt you," she said. Leo gave a faint smile. "You didn't break my heart, Emma. I gave it to you willingly, even if you couldn't keep it. I don't regret loving you." His words, full of kindness and forgiveness, resonated with pain in Emma's heart. The next morning, Emma packed her belongings and a few books, taking only the essentials. The apartment seemed steeped in memories, despite them having lived there for only a year. Emma's gaze lingered on every detail: his favorite coffee mug, their wedding photo, the blanket they used while watching movies. Leo helped her carry her bag to the door and said, "If you need anything, call me." Emma nodded. "Thank you for everything, Leo. You were always kind to me." He looked at her one last time and said, "Take care, Emma." Then she left the apartment, where Nina was already waiting in her car. Her friend smiled warmly and opened the door. "Let's go," she said. Emma got into the car and they drove off without looking back. In Nina's guest room, Emma let her tears flow, but she cried not for Leo, but for the overwhelming feelings within her: guilt, sadness, fear, and at the same time, a hesitant hope. For the first time in her life, she had made a choice dictated by her own desires. She had told the truth and taken a step towards a new life. Days dragged on slowly. Emma lived with Nina for several weeks, helping her with chores, cooking, washing dishes, and sometimes watching movies. Nina didn't push for conversations, but was always there when Emma needed to talk and cry. Emma began taking long walks along the lake, watching people walking their dogs, riding bikes, and drinking coffee on benches. She liked observing how life continued. It helped her find inner peace. One day, looking into a small cafe, she saw an advertisement for creative writing classes at the community center. Something inside told her, "Try it," and she signed up. The group was small, only 8 people. They wrote stories and read them aloud. At first, Emma was shy, but gradually she began to enjoy the process. She wrote about her feelings, her past, and her hopes. One evening after class, she wrote in her notebook, "I lost love before I had a chance to find it, but now I'm finding myself." This phrase brought a smile to her face. Weeks later, Emma received a message from Leo. "Hi, Emma. Just wanted to check in. I'm trying to keep my spirits up too. Signed up for cooking classes to keep busy. No need to reply. Just wanted you to know I'm doing okay." Emma looked at the message for a while, then replied, "Hi, Leo. Thanks for checking in. I'm glad you're doing well. I'm taking writing classes now. It's helping me too. I wish you peace and happiness." After that, they didn't communicate further, but Emma was glad they could part on good terms. It was time to close that chapter, keeping only the fond memories. Months passed, filled with changes. She found her own space, a modest but cozy studio not far from the bookstore. The walls, painted a cheerful light yellow, filled the space with warmth. Flowers appeared on the windowsill, and a painting of a serene lake adorned the wall. Each morning began with a cup of aromatic coffee as she watched life unfold outside her window. Moments of loneliness inevitably washed over her, but with them came a sense of freedom. Memories of Leo lingered. She sincerely hoped he would meet someone who could love him as he deserved, for he was generous with love and open-hearted. She wished for him to be given the same feeling. One day, while sorting through her belongings, she came across the heart-shaped necklace, Leo's gift from their lake trip. She looked at it for a long time as if trying to decipher its meaning. In the end, she carefully placed the jewelry in a small box and accompanied it with a note. "Thank you for your kindness. I couldn't wear it, but I'll never forget." She gave the box to Nina, asking her to return the gift to Leo. Seasons changed and so did she. A smile appeared more and more frequently on her face. Attending writing classes, she made new friends and learned to laugh heartily again. She was gradually reclaiming herself. One night, looking in the mirror, she saw the reflection of a woman with tired eyes, but a soft and kind smile. A woman who was once lost, but now confidently walking her own path. She whispered to herself, "This story is far from perfect, but it's my story. I continue to learn and grow. I don't know what awaits me, but I now know one thing for sure. Never marry without love. Never betray your feelings. If someone is going through what I am, know this, you are not alone. Mistakes are normal. Starting over is normal. Be honest with yourself. Be brave. Your heart will always tell you the truth.